Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the door lock actuator on this 98 Chevy Venture, same as most 97 to 05s. We're going to do the driver's side, which is the same as the passenger side, also same as the Montana Silhouette. This is a long video because you have to take a lot of things apart. Nothing is all that difficult, just involved. Tools you'll need are flat blade screwdriver, a 10mm socket with a ratchet and extension, some painter's tape, a T30 Torx bit and ratchet driver, and a T10 Torx Driver. Okay, the first step is going to be to take the door panel off, and I'm going to kind of speed through this. If you want to see this video in regular speed, you can just check out our other videos for the Venture door panel removal. So you just remove, it's pretty easy actually, remove your switch panel, remove a little plate from behind the door handle, a couple bolts, and then release some pins and pull the door panel off, and then remove your water shield. Okay, next you want to unlock your window from your window track. Okay, sounds a little weird, but basically there's a couple tabs, one here and then one here, and you press those tabs, and at the same time slide your, you can see this is sliding, slide your window track back, okay, and that unlocks the window. Okay, so now you can see I lifted the window up. I used some painter's tape just to secure it. Okay, with your window up and out of the way, you're going to want to remove 3 bolts. One there, one through this hole here, and one through this hole, which I already removed there's a black plug on here that I removed. Let's see if I can see that bolt in there. There it is right there. Okay, so you remove those 3 bolts. They're 10mm bolts. So you'll want a ratchet with a 10mm socket and extension. Get right in there. Obviously you don't need this long of an extension, but probably a 6-inch will do. And as you're removing these, if you can, be careful not to let them fall down, but if they do, they just kind of fall down and you can grab them, and as you'll see. They fall right down. Now you're going to want to unplug this lead here. Now from the outside, just take your handle, pull it out. Okay, then use a screwdriver and work it right in there. And push that out. Okay, and then your handle, pull this harness out, and your handle comes up and off. Okay, what you want to do is to keep these rods kind of put. They have little clips right here, and you can clip them in just so they'll stay put. Okay, now you're going to want to kind of take these harnesses apart, okay, and they just kind of pull out, and then there's one pin right here that you can either pull, you might have to use a pair of pliers and tug it on it. You'll want to disconnect your power window motor, which is pushing up on a little clip here and pulling that out. Now remove your speaker. Use a screwdriver to pry a little tab here, and the speaker kind of comes out. Just press on. You press on with your screwdriver, little tab. Okay, remove the lead. Now you'll want to remove 10mm bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And there should be a sixth one here. This vehicle is missing one. And you'll notice I didn't remove this one all the way. It actually can slide out. Next, you'll need a T30 Torx bit. And you'll want to remove these 3 screws here. Okay, then as you can see here, there's a weather strip. It's actually held on by a pin here. That pin's already broken on this vehicle. This must have been taken apart before. You can just kind of pull that weather strip up and out. Now you're going to want to pull this out. And out. Okay, and these harnesses, slide that up. Okay. And this harness here is connected in. And what we can do now is take our screwdriver and push that forward. There's a little tab that locks it. Okay, this whole thing comes out. So it can be a little broken here. Okay, and here's our lock mechanism that has our actuator. It's got 2 rods into it that just turn like that, and it comes off. Okay, so here's our lock mechanism with our actuator. Here's our new actuator. So you can see there's 2 screws here, 1, 2, and these are T10 Torx screws. So you remove them. Okay, and then your actuator comes kind of down and off. Okay, and then the new one, oops. Okay, the biggest part of this is this little rubber bumper down here goes into this indent and pushes in. Okay, and then you push your actuator down and on. And then we put these screws in. Let's start the second one. Okay. And now to reinstall, this is a little kind of a bracket that helps you to put everything back together. So what you'll want to do is put this bracket back on if you took it off, just by sliding it in and then pulling it back. Okay, and then your actuator, put these two rods into these grommets. Okay, pull it back and then turn it. And then that bracket goes into the back of the actuator, okay, and just kind of locks everything in place. And then these two rods, this one clips right there, and on your old actuator there's another little clip here that you can pull off, and it clips on right there. So this rod then goes right up there, clips on. Assembly can go back up and in. Okay, before you get too far, make sure you bring your harnesses up and around. Okay, and pull this back, plug in your harnesses here. Okay, the black one goes to your upper connection, and then this one goes right down here. Okay. This one slides onto here, and just, let's see, goes down below. Route it correctly, at least to there. Now you can push this all back in.
Okay, I kind of wrestle with this a little bit here. What I learned actually, if you dip the back part way down, then slide it back, and then bring the back up into place, it prevents those rods from getting hung up, and that's kind of what I'm messing with here.
One of our longer screws, start it in right here. Just when you're sliding that back, you may get these rods hanging up in here, so just be aware of that as you're sliding it back. Put our hand through the door handle hole, and start these three. Okay. Start our other screws just to make sure we have everything in place.
Okay, so I'll fast forward through just putting those bolts in, just kind of putting them in finger tight, and now I'm going to actually turn my attention to the wiring, make sure all the the harnesses are all routed the same way, plug the window motor back in, and again just still making sure those wires are all routed the same way. And now we'll fast forward even faster through tightening up those bolts, and they should be nice and snug. They don't have to be too tight.
Let's reinstall our speaker. Plug it in. These two tabs go in. It locks in place.
Okay, and now we'll fast forward tightening up those 3 T30 screws for the lock mechanism.
Okay, we just hooked up our door handle and our switch, and we just do a quick test with the control. Okay, and everything seems to be working correctly. Make sure we leave it unlocked. You're going to want to put this piece of weather strip back up and in. Just slide it in here, and there's a whole channel. Kind of pops into. Okay, make sure it's right there, and if you were able to get this pin apart, then you can put the pin back in. Oops. this one first. Okay. You want to feed your harness in here and make sure it goes behind this channel here so it doesn't get stuck in the window. Okay, so put that on first. Now put that on. Okay, now push your handle in from the inside. See, I got my extension and my 10mm socket. Carefully feed my bolt in there.
Okay, we'll fast forward through that same procedure for the other two bolts. And then you want to use your ratchet handle and tighten them up nice and snug. They don't have to be too tight. And then finally reconnect your power lock harness. And then put that little rubber grommet or plug back in. Kind of just get one side in and then squeeze it in.
Slowly bring your window down. Make sure it stays in its track. Okay. Slide the track back. And the window does need to go into these black clips here. Okay. Slide that back, secure it.
Okay, and like in the beginning, I'm going to forward through the water shield back on, and then your door panel. Again, if you want to see this part in regular motion, just check out our other videos for the Venture door panel installation and removal. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.